All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Race 1 from Road America. Harry Volsmir and Max Gunther have the front row. Mike Marshall, Mike Dolling on the second. Simon Zierk, Mark Dan Touma have the third row. Roman Berg, Rudolph Gunther on the fourth, and Adam Barker rounding out the field. Do have a couple of members of Team Gunther back this morning. As always, folks, if you have a favorite driver, don't forget to drop in the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for. And Harry is taking the grid in the Ford. Wow, that's weird. Roman Berg also back in the Ford this morning. Mike Marshall and Mark Dan Touma in the Corvette. Adam Barker in the Mercedes. Team Gunther, Rudolph and Max both in Porsches. Mike Dolling in the McLaren. And Simon Zierk in the BMW. A good mix of cars here this morning. Everybody going around the pace lap here. A 4-mile circuit here at Road America. Track temperature currently 71 degrees, air temperature 70 degrees. Nice and cool this morning. Should help the drivers just a little bit. Road America, definitely a favorite track of a lot of these drivers. Really surprised we didn't see a bigger field this morning, to be honest. Mike Marshall has been having some great races here lately, but struggling late in the race last week at the Bend after leading a large portion of it. Can he make it to victory lane here today? Mike is yet to get to victory lane in NSS competition. Could today be the day? As I mentioned early on, we did have some major technical issues. I think we've got a solution, at least for the moment. Hopefully everything else goes smoothly here today. moment they are headed toward the final turn. The pace car will duck in down the front straightaway. Harry Volsmere in control of the start. And that is a wickedly long pace lap. And everybody getting some heat in those tires, keeping them cleaned off. Pace car dives in. Harry can fire at any point. They come over the top of the hill. And Harry is down and away. Green flag is in the air at Road America. Harry clears the field to set up into turn one as Mike Marshall and Max Gunther battle for second. Max takes it. Mark Dantuma goes wide back behind. Adam Barker already picking up several spots up to 6th place. Simon's here back in 5th, right on Mike Dolling's back bumper. Simon gonna set up to the inside, doesn't have enough of a run. Max Gunther has gotten right to the back bumper of Harry at the moment. That Porsche definitely better through the turns than the Ford. Oh, Harry's around at the front. Max to the lead. Mike Dolling has had a problem as well. May have gotten caught up in that. Adam Barker also catching a piece of it. We'll take a look at the end of lap 1. At these early incidents, Adam has recovered now into 4th. Mike Dolling into 3rd. Mike Marshall into 2nd. Roman Berg and Simon Zierk have had a problem. A bumpy first lap here at Road America. Harry Volsmere is pointed the right way. It looked like Simon Zierk and Roman Berg. Roman's still in trouble. Meanwhile, Max Gunther will top the straightaway and lead lap 1. And let's take a look at these lap 1 incidents. Starting with Mark Dantuma in turn 1. Mark Dantuma back there in the yellow Corvette. Side by side into turn 1, and that Ford just keeps moving out. Mark had nowhere to go on that deal. And Max Gunther back behind Harry as they come out of the turn. Harry just gets loose and spins. Taking a look at this, look at Harry. We've talked about the lack of rear grip in that Ford. He gets loose, Simon gets right into him, straightens him back out. A lot of drivers do get turned around on that deal. And a moment later, Roman Berg going through the kink. Oh, it looks like Simon may have gotten loose. Let's see if we can take a look at it from another angle. There's Simon on the outside through the kink. And yes, Simon gets loose, clips Roman, and they both end up on the inside wall. Max Gunther having just had a problem a moment ago. Let's see what happened to Simon real quick. Or excuse me, to Max. Max has gone to pit road. Max Gunther headed toward the final turn, but gets loose and smacks that inside wall, loses that rear wing as well. Meanwhile, Mike Dolling has gone to the lead. Mike Marshall in second, Barker currently in third. Rudolph Gunther now to fourth, Mark Dantuma in fifth, Max in sixth. Simon Zierk in seventh, Roman Berg in eighth, Harry back in ninth. Mike does have his hands full at the moment. Mike Dolling with Mike Marshall right behind, and Adam Barker in the Mercedes right behind them. Long straightaways here, definitely giving that Mercedes a bit of an advantage. Coming up the front straightaway, the top three still nose to tail. Rudolph Gunther in fourth, about 2.7 seconds back. He is gaining a little bit of ground, except he loses a little bit on the front stretch. Last time by, Rudolph was the fastest car on track, 203.95. The first driver to break the 204 mark. Mike Dolling continuing to lead up front. The Minister of Defense in the lead. It's going to be tough for anybody to make a move. Marshall looks to the inside. Mike sends it deep into the turn. He's got the inside as they come up the hill. Mike Marshall gets loose right in front of Adam. Adam straightens him out. Adam's around. And Mike Dolling just got himself a bit of a lead. Let's take a look at the incident back behind. There's Adam coming up the hills. They battle for the lead. I think Adam may have just barely tapped Mike. Let's take another look. Coming into the turn, and yes, there was a little bit of contact, costing Adam Barker his front clip. He does get it turned around and going, but a big setback for all involved. Rudolph Gunther, during that mess, was able to slip into third. Mike Marshall still holding on to second. But Mike Dolling, a big, big lead, 4.3 seconds. Hey, good morning, Neko. How are you? Mike Dolling still out front. His lead now growing to 4.5 seconds over Marshall. Rudolph Gunther right there in third. Adam Barker has not been to pit road in fourth. Mark Dantuma had problems in turn 1, is now up to 5th, and is closing in on the cars ahead. Mark has finally figured out Ford bad, Chevy good, and man, it is paying off this morning. Harry Volsmere did just set the fastest lap 203.71. After that lap 1 incident, he's got a lot of ground to make up, but we've seen Harry do it before. Once he has a problem, he is on maximum attack the rest of the race. Oh, Dowling looked a little squirrely through the final turn there. Manages to hold on to it. Mike Marshall still holds on to second. Rudolph in third. Marshall now over 5 seconds behind as Dowling just set the fastest lap. 203.61. The cooler temperatures here this morning are definitely paying off. Adam Barker back in fourth. He is not taking that car to pit road. Remember, Adam comes into the morning leading the points over Mike Marshall by about 98 points right now. Once drop races are calculated, that's likely to tighten up a little bit. Mike Marshall, though, currently the only driver that might be able to put a stop to Adam Barker's 9th championship run. Hey, good morning, Brandon. My apologies if I'm a little bit slow responding this morning due to technical difficulties. We had to make some last-minute adjustments, and everything's a bit weird. Having to do everything a bit different this morning. Max Gunther does have the fastest lap by a lot. 202.93 last time by. Max the fastest car on track, but at the moment 14 seconds behind 5th place Mark Dantuma. Mike Dowling's lead holds at about 5.3 seconds. Folks, don't forget, going into race 2, the top 7 from this race will invert. At the moment, that's going to put Simon Zierk on the pole for race 2. But Harry Volsmere just over 18 seconds behind, and Harry is flying. Rudolph Gunther in third, 2.3 seconds behind Mike Marshall, but he is losing ground. Marshall is pulling away. The points leader back in fourth, and you know that missing front clip has got to be having an impact. Mark Dantuma in fifth, now just 4 seconds behind Barker and closing in. Mike Dowling, meanwhile, just out for a Sunday cruise. He doesn't even have to push it to the limits. Now with an almost 6-second lead on Mike Marshall. He is just setting a consistent pace up front. Mark Dantuma is starting to close back in on Adam Barker. Now less than 4 seconds behind. Mike Marshall in second, about 5.8 seconds back. Rudolph Gunther in third, 2.5 seconds back. Barker in fourth, 7 seconds behind Rudolph. Mark Dantuma right at 4 seconds behind Barker. Max Gunther currently in 6th, Simon in 7th. Harry in 8th is still closing in on Simon. Roman back in 9th. And a rough start to the race for Roman Berg, but he is still in the fight. It's worth noting that 4 cars at the back did have to come to pit road early. Max Gunther, Simon Zier, Gary Volsmir, and Roman Berg all had to come to pit road early for repairs. Rudolph Gunther has started gaining a little bit of ground on Mike Marshall, now 1.7 seconds back. Rudolph has definitely found some more speed. Mike Marshall still holding on to second, but Dawling still up front. Adam Barker holding on to fourth. Dantuma losing ground to Barker now. Mike Dawling continuing to pull away from Mike Marshall as Rudolph Gunther inches closer every lap. Rudolph 1.7 seconds back. Mark Dantuma was gaining ground on 4th place Adam Barker, but now he has drifted back over 5 seconds behind. Barker turning some great laps despite missing the front clip. Max Gunther, Simon Zier, Kerry Volsmir, and Roman Berg all maintaining position at the moment. Harry is the fastest on track at the moment, but he is still 16.5 seconds behind Simon. I do believe Dawling just picked up the white flag. And yes, indeed, one more time around for Mike Dawling. He's got a 6.4 second lead at the moment over Mike Marshall. Rudolph Gunther in third, still about 1.7 seconds behind Marshall. He's trying to close that gap on the final lap. Adam Barker back in fourth. All Mike Dolling has to do here is just keep a consistent pace, not make any mistakes. Just over 2 miles to go for Mike Dolling. And surprisingly, this will only be Dolling's second win of the season. He won race 2 at Virginia International Raceway. And he now has a 6.3 second lead over Mike Marshall here. And here he comes, the Minister of Defense through the final turn and up the long straightaway toward the start-finish line. Mike Dolling is going to go back to victory lane today at Road America. Mike Marshall coming home in second. Rudolph Gunther holds on to third. And the appropriate celebration as we get ready to talk to our top three. And let's start by talking to third place, Rudolph Gunther. Rudolph, that first 2 laps got a little bit sketchy, but you managed to hold on and get a good finish out of it.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. I just stood out of trouble, and that worked out very well. I had nothing for Mike. He was really, really fast in front of me. Even I was close once, and at the end I got closer again. But this Corvette is really fast, and Mike is really fast this season.
Oh man, it was an awesome job and an awesome finish. Always good to see you guys back out on track. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doc.
Rudolph Gunther coming home in third. Mike Marshall comes home in second. Mike, I've said it all season long. I said it last season too. You're getting faster every week, and man, it's starting to show.
It's the Corvette, man. I'm telling you, I was just a little bit... I went with a safer setup, a little bit more rear wing, so I didn't have quite the speeds that I was hoping for, but it was rock steady.
I have to say the Corvette is much better than the Ford you drove last season, but it also, a lot of that appears to be driver skill improving dramatically.
Thanks, Doug. I've been really practicing a lot and trying to really take it serious this season.
Well, it is definitely paying off, and right now you're the only one that can stop Adam Barker's 9th championship. You finish in front of him here. Can you do it again in race 2?
We'll see. I'll be starting behind him, and he's fast, but I know what the implications are with the points championship, so there's going to be some racing.
Well, man, good luck. A heck of a run this morning.
Thank you.
And finally, our winner, the Minister of Defense, Mike Dolling. Mike, we didn't even get to see you use your nickname this morning. You took the lead and were just gone.
Yeah, exactly. It was just there. And I was hoping to do a bit of defending, but no one wanted to get that close. Although there was a couple of side-by-side moments, which was fun. And then Adam decided to rear-end Mike, so that kind of helped me out. But yeah, it was good. This morning was good. I'm happy with this morning. I've just got to try and fight my way to the front now in the next race. We'll see what happens. It was good.
It definitely was, and that McLaren definitely, every time we see you in that McLaren, it fits your driving style really well. You're extraordinarily fast in that car.
Yeah, I do enjoy the McLaren. It's a lot of fun. Although the rear end on this track is super lively. So it's like there is times where I'm like fighting with the steering wheel to try and keep it in a straight line, but it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it.
Oh man, heck of a run, heck of a win. Congratulations, Mike.
Cheers, Doug. Thanks.
It's obvious Mike Dolling is enjoying this morning, having a great race as well. Just 2.5 minutes left to go in warm-up. The drivers will head back out for race 2. Taking a quick look at the weather, it does look a bit cloudy out there. I don't remember seeing any chances of rain this morning, but you never know what'll happen in race 2. Things could get very, very interesting if the rain starts to fall. And if it does start to rain, they're all going to be chasing Max Gunther. Max Gunther is the master in the rain. No adjustments going into any of the cars. They all sit on pit road, ready to go. Just over a minute left to go in warm-up. Just enough time to run to the snack bar, get some food, get some drink. While you're standing in line, make sure to hit the like, follow, subscribe. Most importantly, hit that share button. Invite your friends and family. Even with technical difficulties this morning, we still get to see an amazing race. And can Mike Marshall keep the Mercedes behind him in race 2? All right, warm-up is over. Barker, the only one to take a lap. We're about to head out on track for race 2 here at Road America. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Race 2. We'll see Simon Zierk and Max Gunther on the front row. Mark Dantuma, Adam Barker on the second row. Rudolph Gunther, Mike Marshall on the third. Mike Dolling, Harry Volsmir on the fourth row. Roman Berg rounds out the field for race 2. Everybody getting stacked up. Barney the Flagman stands ready as the Porsche pace car takes him out to lead that 4-mile pace lap. What is Harry doing? Looked like Harry may have had a problem getting the Ford going. He shot up the middle of the track, gets it wound up. Simon Zierk leading him around. Now coming into this morning, Adam Barker at a 98-point lead. That is before drop races are calculated. I do believe that lead will actually shrink once those drop races are calculated. Mike Marshall finishing 2 spots ahead of Barker in race 1 is definitely going to help that points gap. Now the question is, can Barker hold him off? Rudolph Gunther may be getting a head start here. Rudolph is headed to pit road. This is unexpected. That was peculiar to say the least. So Simon Zierk in control up front. Max Gunther alongside. The championship battle back behind will be between the pink Mercedes of Adam Barker and the red, white, and blue Corvette of Mike Marshall. We'll keep an eye on Rudolph to see what the heck is going on. He is in his pit stall, as is Mark the Man Dan Tuma. Look like Dan Tuma may have had a connection issue. All right, pace car is in. Whoa! Mike Doling and Max Gunther have gone in. The green flag has flown. Simon has not taken off. Rudolph Gunther is on his way back out. Max Gunther has just hit his pit stall. Mark Dan Tuma on his way out now as well. Mike Doling rolling his way back out, as is Max Gunther. Not sure what happened with half the field hitting pit road. Max Gunther still sits on pit road. Dan Tuma has caught up to the field. I think Max may have gotten a penalty on pit road. Not 100% sure on that. Everybody's still trying to keep some heat in those tires, keep them cleaned off. Max still sits on pit road, and it looks like everybody is still pacing. Does look like they are starting to stack back up. Are we doing a mid-lap restart here, trying to get everybody together? Max Gunther is back out on track. Looks like they are just waiting for Max to catch back up. We'll see if they choose to restart here. Max coming out of the carousel. He'll catch him just past the kink. Everybody is stacked up and ready. There's, whoa, Max flung it through there. Max has got himself back to the front row. Everybody is stacked up now. Question is, where will they fire? It does look like they're going to come through the final turn and refire for race 2 on the front stretch. All right, here they come past the pit road entry. Simon in control. And they are down and away. The green flag is out. Everybody underway. Well, I've been doing this for almost 5 years. That's a new one on me. As Adam Barker already to the inside for second. Team Gunther all around Adam, now behind him, as they are 3 wide as Harry tried to go up the middle. Oh, Mike Dolling is around. Rudolph Gunther around. Simon Zierk, Adam Barker, Max Gunther, the top 3 trying to break away. Mike Marshall now in 4th. Harry up into 5th. Roman now in 6th. Rudolph Gunther in 7th. Mike Dolling in 8th. Mark Dantuma in 9th. That top 3, nose to tail through the carousel. Simon gets the better run out. Adam goes wide. Max almost got the move to the inside, down through the kink. Mike Marshall just behind in fourth. He is closing back in on the top three, but has Harry on the bumper. Mike goes wide. He is around into the tire wall. Out of the final turn, back up the hill, Simon Zierk will lead lap one. And it was an eventful first lap. Let's take a look at some of the early incidents. There's that battle, 3 wide. Ew! And there you see Mike Dolling gets loose, and a moment later, Rudolph Gunther on the inside of Max also gets loose. Then just a moment ago, Mike Marshall, who'd been on the charge all morning, a bit wide into the sand, gets loose and smacks the tire barrier. Definitely an eventful start to race 2. Simon Zierk has the lead, but Adam and Max right there with him. Harry Volsmeer about 1.8 seconds back and forth. Roman Berg now to 5th. Dan Tuma right there with Roman in 6th. Rudolph Gunther, Mike Dolling, and Mike Marshall all with problems early. Mike Marshall did go to pit road to get that Corvette repaired. As we've got a battle for the lead, Adam Barker tries to take it, but Simon powers out. Max takes advantage and takes second. Max clears Adam coming out of the final turn to take second place. That Porsche does struggle with straight line speed. Can he hold Adam off? Down the front stretch, it looks like he will. As Simon leads them through lap 1 or 2, however you want to count it. Rudolph Gunther has Mike Dolling closing in. Dolling did just set the fastest lap. As we've got a battle for the lead, Max to the outside. As they come down the hill, it's going to be tight. Simon keeps the nose to the inside, but up the hill, Max Gunther to the lead. Now Harry Volsmeer back up into the fight with the top 3. Simon trying to set up to the inside, can't get there. Max comes out of the carousel with a couple of car lengths of breathing room, but again, the Porsche struggles with straight line speed. He may be at a disadvantage right through here, and Barker is on the move. Barker sets up to the inside on Simon. Even out of the turn, but Adam powers out into second. Max Gunther trying to take advantage of the battle back behind, pull away. Adam now in second, Simon in third, Harry in fourth. Mark Dantuma now up to 5th, 2.7 seconds back. Roman on his bumper in 6th, Rudolph in 7th. Mike Dolling in 8th, Mike Marshall in 9th. And Mike Marshall, the last 2 weeks, race 2 has not been his friend. Last week we thought he had it wrapped up, but a speeding penalty on his final stop was a huge setback as Mark the Man D'Antuma has had a problem. Looks like turn 1 for Mark, and he just gets really loose. Roman Berg just barely missing him. Max Gunther still has the lead. Barker on his bumper. Simon in 3rd. Harry still on his bumper in 4th. Roman back in 5th. Rudolph in 6th. Dolling in out of 7th. D'Antuma slipping back to 8th. Mike Marshall in 9th. Max Gunther leads as they come past the start-finish line, but this is where Adam closes the gap down the straightaway, and Adam just set the fastest lap, 2:03.03. Likely going to see lap times dropping down into the 2:02s here in a moment. Harry Volsmeer is now taking 3rd from Simon. Mike Dolling has slipped back to 8th. Mark D'Antuma moving back up into 7th. Meanwhile, Adam Barker in 2nd is trying to close that 9/10 of a second gap, and Max Gunther has out front. Adam still right there with, Adam wide through the dirt. And Adam lost a lot of time with that mistake. Harry Volsmeer has had a problem behind. Let's see if we can see what happened. Simon, Harry got loose and Simon caught a piece of it. Harry pushing it to the limit. We've talked about the lack of rear grip for the Mustang, and there you see it. Ouch. Both Simon and Harry have gone to pit road. With that setback, Mark D'Antuma moves back up into 5th. Mike Dolling in 6th. Simon has gotten the car repaired and gassed up and heads back out. Mike Marshall now back up into 8th. Harry into 9th. Meanwhile, Max Gunther continues to extend his lead over Adam Barker, now 2 seconds. Roman Berg up to third. But fourth place, Rudolph Gunther is reeling him in. Mark Dantuma back in fifth. Mike Dolling in sixth is closing in on Dantuma. He's about 4 1/4 seconds back, but over a second a lap faster last time by. Simon back out on track in seventh. Mike Marshall in eighth. Harry Volsmir is officially out of the race. Kind of heartbreaking. Watching Harry fight his way back has always been exciting. Max Gunther continues to extend that lead, now 2.1 seconds. The top two continuing to pull away from the rest of the field. Roman Berg holds on to third for the moment, but Rudolph in fourth. Now just over 1 second behind. Roman was looking for a good finish last week at the Bend, and he was extremely fast. Luck did not go his way. Currently running in third, but can he hold off Rudolph Gunther? Max Gunther continues to lead the race. However, last time by, Barker was a hair faster. Now just 1.8 seconds back. And Rudolph has the run down the front straightaway. Man, a big run as he slingshots to the outside. Rudolph Gunther easily takes third into turn one. Roman right behind him fourth. Mark Dantuma in fifth, about 14.5 seconds back, but he is gaining. Hey, good morning, Manny. Doing pretty good, Manny. How are you doing, buddy? Rudolph in third has started to pull away from Roman, and last time by, Barker lost a bit of ground. Max trying to put more space between the top two. Manny, you're absolutely right. This track does look like somebody trying to flex a muscle with a broken arm. You know, Pudsey used to come tell me what the track maps look like. I really missed it. Thank you for that one. Mark Dantuma back in 5th. Is closing in on 4th place Roman Berg. He is 14.8 seconds back. Roman still managing to stay with Rudolph for the moment. Mike Marshall, a heartbreaking race 2. He is now back in 8th place. He did gain some ground in the points in race 1, but race 2, it does appear to have been a huge setback. Simon currently in 7th, Dolling back in 6th. Mike is closing in on Mark Dantuma. Dantuma in 5th, Roman in 4th, Rudolph in 3rd. The top 2 just continue to run away with it. Max Gunther out front, Adam Barker in 2nd. Folks, don't forget, later today, this race will be on our YouTube channel in 4K. We started putting all the races on YouTube in 4K about a month ago, so go check them out. And we have put out a lot of YouTube shorts in the last few days you definitely want to see. Mike Dolling in his McLaren trying to close the gap on Mark Dantuma and the Corvette. That would be an interesting battle if we get these two close together. Both cars seem to be fairly evenly matched on both speed and handling. Plus, you know, Mark Dantuma, who's been driving a Ford quite a bit, now that he's in a Chevy and knows what true power is, you know he's pushing that car to the limit. Sorry, Manny, sounds don't work during races, and I haven't figured out how to disable them yet. Roman Berg in 4th, is losing ground now to 3rd place, Rudolph Gunther. And Max Gunther out front has started to pull away from Adam Barker. Remember, Adam is on the hunt for his 9th championship. And it looked like coming into this morning, Mike Marshall was going to be able to upset that and take the championship. But the setback early here in race 2, that may not be possible. Three races left to go after today. Next week they will be at Silverstone, followed by the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. Season finale at Okayama. You gotta wonder if the race next week at Silverstone gives an unfair advantage to the Brits in the league, like Adam Barker, because I do believe Some of these guys have driven the track in real life. But I also know a couple members of Team Gunther have driven the Nürburgring in real life. And of course, if any of the 3 final races has rain, Max Gunther is unstoppable in the rain. We have not had a rain race all season long. I'm kind of disappointed. Rudolf Gunther in third has opened up a 2.5 second gap on Roman. Mark Dantuma back in fifth. Now just 13.25 seconds behind Roman and closing in. The 6th place Mike Dolling is reeling in Dantuma as well. He is now just 2.4 seconds back. Does look like Dolling does have a little bit of damage to the nose of that car. And Roman Berg is on pit road. He's the first one in. Definitely not a track. Mark Dantuma is in. This is definitely not a track. You want to push the fuel. You run out halfway through this track. It is a very, very long tow back to pit road. Likely to see a lot of these guys in on the final, or on this lap. Simon Zierk now in fifth, moving Marshall back to sixth. Max Gunther continuing to extend his lead, now 2.4 seconds. Adam Barker still holds on to second. Will we see him in this time? Max is staying out. Adam is staying out. And it looks like Rudolf Gunther will be coming in. Mark Dantuma has had a problem. Back behind, he has towed it in. Look like Mark may be off pace. He goes around off into the sand. Does manage to keep it out of the wall. Trying to get the tires cleaned off here. Then a few moments later, on the power out of the turn, just gives the inside wall a love tap. Max continues to lead over Adam Barker. Mike Dolling now up into third. Simon Zierk in fourth. Mike Marshall in fifth. Rudolph Gunther, Roman Berg have completed their final stops. Mark Dantuma is out of the race as the leaders are on pit road. Max Gunther, Adam Barker both in. Will they be taking tires? Max Gunther headed toward his pit stall. And it does not look like either car went up on the jack. Fuel only for the top two as Dolan goes by. And McLaren definitely seems to be really good on fuel. Max Gunther wins the race off pit road. Adam Barker comes out 3.5 seconds behind. Simon Zierk now in 4th. Rudolph in 5th. Mike Marshall on his way in. The Minister of Defense still has the lead. Mike Marshall on his way back out. He may have taken tires on this stop. That may give him a bit of an advantage here. Mike Dolan trying to open up a bit of a lead before he goes in. His lead now 4 seconds over Max. Max a 3.5 second gap on Adam Barker. Simon back in 4th, Rudolph in 5th, Roman in 6th, and the Minister of Defense is on pit road. Max Gunther has reclaimed the lead. Adam Barker back to 2nd. Simon Zierk now to 3rd. Rudolph Gunther should reclaim 4th. Roman Berg. Roman looked like he was coming in but changed his mind. Looks like Roman may have had a problem out of the last turn. Let's see. There's Roman coming toward that final turn. Oh, goes a bit wide. Gets it squirrely, but does manage to keep it on track. Max Gunther's lead now 4.1 seconds over Barker. Simon back in 3rd. Rudolph Gunther in 4th. And just an FYI, this is one of the hardest tracks to broadcast because I sit here and look at it and I want bratwurst. Too many Johnsonville brat signs. Adam lost a little bit more ground on that lap. Now 4.7 seconds behind Max. Twelve and a half minutes left to go for Max Gunther, is leading now 4.8 seconds over Adam. Simon 12 seconds back in third. Rudolph Gunther another 10 seconds. What the heck? Max Gunther may be having a connection problem. Rudolph Gunther back in fourth, 10 seconds behind Simon. Roman Berg in fifth, 8 seconds back. Mike Dolling in sixth, 2.7 seconds back, and he is gaining ground. Mike Marshall back in seventh, 30 seconds back. About 3 laps left to go for Simon Zierk is in. Simon did have to pit earlier and took fuel when he got repairs. That's going to give third back to Rudolph. Roman Berg may move back into fourth here. He does. Mike Dolling now back up into fifth. Simon hits his pit stall as Mike Marshall heads toward the final turn. And Simon is on his way back out. He will maintain 6th place. Max Gunther has been dialed in all morning long. Adam Barker in second has just closed the gap, now back under 4 seconds. Mike Dolling, meanwhile, back in fifth, inching closer and closer to Roman. Mike Marshall back in seventh, about 10.5 seconds behind Simon, but he is closing quickly. Mike trying to get as many points and make up as much ground as possible here today. Remember, he is in that heated battle with Adam Barker for the championship. Worth noting, Mike Marshall is leading the amateur division championship. Hey, good morning, Russell. And apparently Mark the Man Dantuma lost power, hence is disappearing from the race. Mike Dolling has lost a little bit of ground to Roman Bird. Roman in fourth, about 2.5 seconds ahead at the moment. And Mark, I do have to ask, what was it like this morning driving real power? Max Gunther's lead now almost 5 seconds over Adam Barker. It appears Adam has just found a consistent rhythm. Knowing he's going to come home in second and extend his points lead here. Looks like the strategy is right as Max pulls his lead even bigger now, 5.1 seconds. Mike Dolling back in fifth, starting to close back in on Roman. That gap now down to 2 seconds. Adam Barker does gain a little ground on the straightaways, but Max continuing to extend his lead overall. Mike Dolling now just 1.8 seconds behind Roman, and he is getting closer. Roman doing everything he can to hold on to fourth place. Meanwhile, Max's lead holds at about 5 seconds for the moment. Oh, a little wide through the kink for Max, holds on to it. Mike Dolling getting closer and closer to Roman Bird. Max Gunther out of the final turn, may see the white flag this time. Nope, they will he'll go one more time to the white. And Roman Berg's starting to have connection problems. As Mike Dolan continues to get closer, Roman definitely wanted to see the white flag this time by. This will give Dawling an opportunity to get even closer. Dawling now just 1.4 seconds back. Max's lead over Adam now 7.5 seconds. Rudolph Gunther in third, 23 seconds back from Barker. But this battle back behind for fourth place is heating up. Max headed toward the white flag this time by. And the white flag flies one more time around. Max's lead now 9.25 seconds over Adam Barker as Mike Doling has just taken fourth place. Meanwhile, Max Gunther out front extends his lead to over 10 seconds. Mike Doling, 9.5 seconds back from Rudolph. You know he is wishing for a couple more laps. He is closing the gap on Rudolph quickly, but not enough time left to do anything with it. Max Gunther through the kink one last time. Rudolph Gunther will be on the podium again in race 2. A really good morning for Team Gunther. And out of the final turn, he heads up the hill the last time. Max Gunther is back in victory lane. He will get the win at Road America. Adam Barker comes up the hill to finish in second. And Rudolph Gunther comes up the hill to finish in third. And let's talk to our top 3, starting with Rudolph. Rudolph back on the podium this morning. A heck of a run today.
Yeah, thank you, Doug. It was great. it was a strange start at the beginning. I got hit by Mike just before we even started, and so we decided to let me by. I took my round, got my fast repair, and then we, lined up again.
Well, it definitely worked out in your favor, and everything went perfect this morning for you, man. Another great finish. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Doc.
Adam Barker coming home in second. Adam, you lost some ground in race 1 in the points, but you made it all up and then some in race 2.
Yeah, it was crazy race in race 1. Had a bit of an issue with the guys ahead, but yeah, tried to bring it back. Managed to get past Simon, but I got the Gunthers ahead of me, so he just sort of tried to drive away, and I didn't really have an answer for him today.
Well, still a heck of a run and well on your way to your 9th championship. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And finally, our winner, Max Gunther. Max back in victory lane. It seems like you show up and you win.
Yeah. First time I didn't win because I had a little date with the wall. On lap, I think 2 or 1. Yeah, but it was fun. It was really fun.
Was it a good date?
Well, it cost me my rear wing, so I had to go to the pits. It's quite expensive going to on a date with a wall.
It definitely is, but you still managed to fight back and get to victory lane in a pretty big win over 10 seconds there at the end.
Yeah, Adam had to fuel save on the last lap. His last lap time was at 2:13, which says it all. He had like 0.1 liter when he came over the line. So, yeah.
Well,
good racing.
It definitely worked out in your favor. Back in victory lane, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you.
Max Gunther wins again, folks. Don't forget, tonight at 9 Eastern, SMR X Series is back on track. That's going to be a fun one. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did. We will see you all tonight. Have a great day, everybody.